Hey everyone, this is Will, and I'm with Fanny today. And I have to be honest, we were talking a little bit before we started, and today was one of those days where I worked too late and I have a ton of meetings and stuff to do today, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to do it because I don't feel like I'll be able to bring the energy and whatnot. And but I wanted to talk to Fanny because Fanny is pretty dynamic in the fact that I see her on my personal feed, but then I also see her in different groups, and she's like constantly hustling. So I wanted to get her on here and talk about some of the things that she actually does, not in theory. And what was great about it is, like, I wanted to cancel on her, and she was just like, "Let's do it. Are we doing it now? Are we doing it now? Are we doing it? Come on, let's go on, let's go on, let's go on." I was like, "Yeah, now's the time that we should do it, right?" Especially when I don't want to. It's like, "Yeah, we let's get together, let's talk." So, Fanny is she does just a lot of stuff. Funnels, community management, website design, Facebook ads. She's working with a lot of really smart people in the industry and knows a lot about it. But Fanny, if you can just tell everybody about you, where you came from, and where you're hoping to go.
So first of all, you're gonna get used to with the French accent because yeah, I'm from France. I'm going to travel a little bit, but yeah, so I'm doing Facebook ads. Sales funnel means landing pages, also email marketing. So I launched my agency like a couple of months ago. Like officially, I already got my digital agency a year ago. So I created it. I'm like 26, so everything is like kind of like new. But I've been doing digital marketing for like over 5 years through my study, like my master, but also like aside like part-time jobs and things like that. So everything is like about hustling. And yes, I've learned from the past like few months to stop procrastinate, thanks to the awesome advice from my mentor who used to like challenge me a lot. So yeah, like the big advice is just stop procrastinating and just put a bunch of value out there. So that would be the main introduction advice.
And would you say, so if you had a choice of, there's a lot of people, let's go to sales funnels and landing pages and ad copies and all that stuff. So would you say that sometimes are you going to spend more time to make sure that it's perfected and tested and tried and true and everything? Or are you more the type of, okay, let's get it out, let's get some action, let's get some data, let's get some information, and then let's readjust? Or how do you look at that?
I have like, it's kind of like two different schools. So for specific things, I'm just going to put the content out there and test a lot. Because as I said, like for example, creatives, like it's not right when it comes to copy. Copy has to be perfect. You have to think about every word you're going to put like in a landing page, in an ad copy. Like everything has to be like, even if you have to spend hours and hours doing it, it has to be perfect. However, when it comes to creative video content, like email marketing is like copy, so it's kind of like the same with the copy. Everything has to be well thought before being like public, but for the rest, everything is based on testing. There is too much people asking for numbers, case study, and things like that when it comes to Facebook ads, but you have to test. Each audience reacts is different way with different content. I can do the exact same campaign with one audience, do the same an hour after with the same audience, I'll get different results. So it's just kind of like boxes. There is one box, everything has to be perfect, but the main order actually is all about testing. There is no like universal rules.
When you, well, that you just answered my question. But when you go to copy and you said the copy has to be really good,
yeah.
Where is that? It seems like, and if I go to, I think it happens more in email marketing, but I think that it's starting to go over into Facebook ads now, where like people say, "Wow, Will's a really good ad copy guy," and because he seems so authentic, but actually it's not. I don't call it copy. I'm just a dork and I just write stuff, and it's just what I would say. So where are you? Like, because we've all seen the email before where somebody emails us, it's got a great subject line, and then we open it up and it's an ad inside of it's like, oh man, I thought this was like you were actually talking to me. So where do you fall on the line of being authentic, but then also making sure that either if you don't know how to do copy, you hire somebody to do copy? Where do you see the lines on there?
So one of the strategy is actually to use personal branding. So people are not shocked when they like come from the ads to the landing page, because they're going, like there is congruency between, I don't know, a video I'm going to put out there, like a few kind of second video introduction, and then you go on the landing page and you discover the same person with the same kind of like copy style. But when I say it has to be perfect, it doesn't mean I'm not testing. So I'm going to do like an ad copy, but I'm going to test different version of it. So it can be a total different style of copy, but I'm going to test the copy anyway. I'm not going to have like one winning copy. I'm going to test everything. So what you have to do is to be congruent. So if you're using a certain type of copy style, you have to use the same in the landing page. If you're using kind of specific colors, I don't know, in a picture, you have to stick with that in the landing page. This is why how you kind of like reduce the bounce rate on the landing page and also on the website and things like that. If you check my landing pages, everything is about orange. There is my face everywhere, and there is a bunch of videos. So people are not shocked, like they're not kind of disappointed when they arrive on my landing page. It's like, what is that? Like kind of like this kind of like friction, you know? You have to limit the frictions between the different steps of your funnel.
I was thinking like the restaurant, when I go into a restaurant and the person that's going to hostess that's going to seat me, right? So I don't know this, but apparently the waitress is busy or she's on break or something's going on. So she seats me. Typically they seat you and they say your hostess is going to be there. But then every now and then when they get busy, they say, can I get you a drink order and something like that. So then you've built this relationship with this hostess, and then she goes, and then here comes this new person, right? And it's this jolting. Now, when you actually get your waitress, you're like, wait a minute. I've already kind of invested in this person over here. I kind of like how she talked. I was used to it. And now who is this other person? So to me, it feels like same thing as like you're saying, like the landing page. If you're not speaking the same language and have the same person that takes you through the journey or the same message, it could be kind of off-putting, right?
Like everything online is about creating relationship. I just put a video like a couple of minutes ago about like being known, being liked, and being trusted. Sorry, and everything is related to just human-to-human relationship. And yeah, you're building like in the restaurant, you're going to say hi like to the first waitress, and you're going to build kind of like an introduction relationship. So you expect this person to put the same effort as she did before with you, and it's just like a win-win relationship. If you expect your clients to buy from you, they expect from you to bring something in exchange, and not just the benefits from the product. They expect some like value, some respect, and yeah, it's just like a overall normal. It's like a sales relationship, but just online. It's the exact same process. You're not going to like see a stranger in a party and say, hey, do you want to marry me?
Right.
Like everybody would be like super surprised. But if you say hi, or like, how are you? You introduce yourself and you'd be like, oh, do you want to exchange the numbers? Okay, the day after you go take a drink, and the day after you go to the restaurant, and the day after you go to the zoo, and etc., etc. Till after a certain period of time, you're going to ask to marry this person. This is exactly the same with your customers. So you have to build this like long-term relationships, and too much people are thinking short-term, which is killing their like just strategies and business and budget and everything.
Yeah, I think you touched on a point there. There's a lot of, I deal with a lot of local businesses, and they're so used to, whether it's a mortgage guy or a real estate guy, they're just like, how much are your leads? And just give me some leads. And they don't understand that it is a true, like a branding at first, and then it's a customer process. I'm the guy that likes to just come in. I'm the annoying guy, like, hey, what's going on, Fanny? And I this and this and hey, But there are some people that actually, I'm thinking about buying a home, but maybe it's 6 months from now. And where the realtor just wants that person now, it's going to take a while, right? So can you explain like the kind of the flow of the first hello, like maybe in a Facebook ad, and then taking them through either, structured emails and funnels? Like what does that process look like, and what are you trying to accomplish each time?
So first of all, like all the people asking you for a bunch of leads, that's great. But if they don't know how to convert them into customers, there is no way to bring as much leads. Like it's kind of, I wouldn't say like dumb, but it's kind of like stupid. Because if you don't know what to do with those leads, it's just a waste of money, time, and energy for sure. So how I used to do that, so you have to understand that Facebook ads are just a source of traffic. It's as simple as that. So if you don't know how to convert them into like a sustainable system, like that's cool for brand awareness. But if you want to actually close deals and just do business, you have to have this funnel in place. A lot of people doesn't really value the funnel, and there is no one winning funnel. You have to test everything. Like you have one funnel for your business, and you have to understand all the fundamentals to actually understand what you have to change depending on the numbers you're gonna get. Everything is based on numbers, and you have your numbers for your industry and your business, and you have to adjust. This is why like buying someone else's business is not the smartest idea. It's great if you understand how funnels work, so you can get a bit of inspiration, but otherwise there is no point to do that. You have to understand the basics first and test for yourself, and then build in the long-term period. So Facebook ads is just like a source of traffic. Then you move your leads so everything is about bringing value first. I learned that from the Next Level Ads group and the early group from like Sam Field. Everything is about bringing value first. You have to help people in advance so they will trust you. Then you move them to your funnel, which is probably your landing page when you're going to ask for an email in exchange of a value bond, something they can refuse because the value is so high and so powerful that just giving the email will be like, they don't care. And then you move them into an email marketing sequence. So this is kind of that. And then the big thing is about retargeting. There is no immediate sales on Facebook ads. So you have to retarget all the people who has interacted with your brand. Means who commented your post, who are you fan-based. You can do custom audiences with your email list. There is like so different people you can target in different ways, but always with a targeting message. This is the big point. Like too much people want to talk to like everybody, like broad audience. This is the best way to talk to nobody.
Right.
So yeah, this is like the big thing.
And
do you want to optimize?
Do you always throw them through? Do you have a set way? Because I find with me personally, a lot of people want to call me on the phone. Let's just say in just normal life, and I'm more of a texting and email guy. If you want to text or email me, you've got my heart, and I'll talk to you whenever I can. But if you call me, I really don't like that. So talking about you've got Facebook, right? And so you've got them on there, and sometimes I will see that people will do a Facebook funnel, right? So they will just say, take them through the funnel, and maybe they might not even go to a landing page until they've seen 7 or 8 ads, and then they get to a landing page, right? And then I see people that they're on the very first email or very first Facebook ad, they're trying to get that email, so then they can get them into an email marketing campaign, and then they stop the Facebook ads. And then I see some people that'll get people through, a sales funnel and whatnot. Do you vary that depending on what the client is or what you think your audience is? Do you have it different ways, or do you have a specific in your mind that you're going to do, Facebook, take them to a landing page, and then get them an email? I mean, do you always do the same thing, or do you change it up from time to time?
It depends on the client. If they already like have a fan base, but they're not using this fan base to actually convert them into customers, we're gonna work more on the fan base. If it's Facebook ads to call the audience, means people who never heard about your brand, there is a work in advance to actually have them to know you, like you, and trust you. So the conversion circle is gonna be longer. Also depends on the value of the product. If it's a high-end product, the conversion circle is gonna be really long, because buying a car is not like an overnight decision. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to buy a car or a house or whatever, except if you're rich maybe. But otherwise, this kind of like decision or like a long process thinking. So it depends. Usually, yeah, the source of traffic is just, everything is about traffic. So if you want traffic on your landing page, website, or e-commerce store, you want traffic. So Facebook is just a tool. And the retargeting things, as you said, you have to have multiple touch points because there is no immediate sale. So people sometimes have to see your ads or different ads a couple of times before. One of my clients, it was just so funny because it was a recommendation for one of my Facebook friends. And this guy actually saw my ad in Australia because I was running a campaign, but I haven't got any like contact with this person before. It was just, your face is kind of familiar. And I was like, it was like, yeah, I saw your video on my feed one day, and it just went on my business page, see the same face, and it was like, I know this girl, like she knows what is she talking about, and it was just like directly, like it was kind of like sold already. So we're just like chatting about logistic stuff and things like that. But everything is about like, it's not straight to the sales. Like never do that with Facebook ads, except if it's like a €5 product. And even if it's that, that's not the best practice, but it's just my opinion on that.
And then I know you love funnels and whatnot, but would you agree? Sometimes if I'm a burger stand, hamburger stand, and you're thinking about like you're trying to put yourself in the customer, whoever you actually want to come to your restaurant, right? If you put yourself in their mind, you're probably not going to take them through a $9 burger, and then if you do a tripwire, we'll throw in $3 French fries, and we'll do it today and prepay, and we'll throw in free sodas. Like at some point in time, you have to like tone it down and just realize that if someone's looking at your ad or thinking about your burger stand and they go to a website, they're probably looking for the address. They're probably looking for a menu. Make it easy for that person and what they're actually doing. You wouldn't want to do a long sales copy about everything that's great, correct? I mean, so you sometimes have to find out like who's your customer end in mind, right? And then cater to that.
So too much people doing Facebook ads don't even know who is their ideal customer, means the avatar. This is the starting point. If you don't know your ideal client by heart, when I say by heart, means all the demo, age, gender, where is he living, income, everything, all the challenges he's facing, the motivation to actually buy from him, but just the motivation eating burgers. Why? Like all the different information, where he used to get the information. All those information are just priceless when it comes to like create effective Facebook ads. And of course, depending on the product, you have to adapt the funnel. It's going to be more or less longer. Like there is this carpet bomb technique from Chris Culver, and that's great because you do a video knowing you can retarget 50 to 70% of the viewers with an offer. So for the example, for the burgers, one of my clients is actually an Asian burger. He has an Asian burger restaurant in Paris. And we did that. So you just have like to have a killing offer, but people can get this offer only by giving an email. So it's kind of like a short, it's like you don't have to go on like a big landing page, email sequence, everything. That you just want people to take action. So when they have their like coupon or discount things, they're gonna come. You don't have to like sell them other things by email. So blah blah blah. It's kind of like a shorter funnel, but it's really working when it comes to local businesses. It just depends. When you have the email, it's priceless because you don't have to pay anymore to talk to your customers. This is the point.
Well, if they email, right? If they email, I will tell you one thing. I had to unfollow that burger place. You asked everybody to follow it, and I followed it. And the problem is, they kept showing these pictures of these burgers, and I was hungry, right? So it's like if you actually have a good product, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could think of it like if you have a good product and it shows up on my news feed. Like the problem is, it's like 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm trying to make it to dinner, and I see that burger. I can't go to France to get that burger, but I want that. I want that burger bad, right? So I had to unfollow them. But yeah, I think, and I always think it seems like, especially for people that are doing Facebook ads, they feel like they have to go into a client. It could be a banker, it could be a restaurant, and they feel like they have to have all the answers, and there's all this data and audience insights, and then I'm going to tell you how to do it. And I think what they're missing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the best expert that you have for selling burgers is the actual client. And there's nothing wrong with going to your client and going, hey, the numbers show that 25 to whatever is the way and is the best way. And he goes, oh no, our best clients are actually the 34 to 60-year-olds, and they typically come in on birthdays, or they typically come on when you say that, going to your actual client and asking them, as an expert, to tell you who the customer avatar is much more beneficial, and you should feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I asked my own clients, because I was doing Facebook ads, I asked him to go and just see the clients and just observing the room, like the average age, these are like couples, families, more males, more females. We also used the Facebook page because he had like 7,000 fans. But just, you have to understand that Facebook ad is just a way to communicate. It's really efficient because there is more than 2 billion monthly active users in these platforms. But it's a combination of everything, offline strategies and online strategies. If you have good Facebook ads, but you don't bring any value on a fan page, your website sucks, you don't bring any value, there is like so much things you have to combine all together to actually get results. This is why when people actually say Facebook ads doesn't work, they're wrong. It works. Like there is so much people in this platform. Maybe they do it wrong. Maybe they didn't spend enough because they don't know their numbers. They don't know how much they're supposed to spend to get a lead and then convert this lead into a client. Like there is so much reasons why Facebook ads probably don't work. But it just depends on your ideal customer, depends on your budget, and you have to be patient and put the effort. So if you don't know how to do it, instead of just burning your budget, just ask like for consulting or just ask for advice in the group. Or so there is like different strategy to put in place before getting results. It's not like an overnight process. So
Yeah, I agree. And going back to the branding, what do you think of? So I have my personal Facebook, and it's people that are on business, and it's family, and it's friends, and I post who I am. But it's really hard for people to find my business from my Facebook page. Now there are certain people that their Facebook page then turns into their business. So their personal Facebook, their friends and their family, they're asking for business. Either they're a realtor or they're this or they're that. And that is their page, and they feel like that's their brand, right? And I think you've done a really good job of I know enough about your personal stuff that I know when you're traveling, and it's kind of cool to see you and your friends and then your travel plans and stuff. So I get a little bit of that. I don't ever really feel like I'm being sold, but I also feel like I know you, right? I knew you. But then there's this other Fanny that's the business. So can you explain like the balance? Like some people go full in, right? They go full in and they're just like, I only have one profile in this business. And then some people are totally separate, but you're kind of a hybrid. Can you explain how you do that and your thought process behind that?
So I created this kind of like weird concept of mine, which is the gut branding. Means it's the personal branding, but you go with your gut. So there is no one universal rule. Neither you can just keep separate your business page with your personal page. But because my brand is myself, I'm using both. Because on Facebook pages, you know that only 10%, maybe less, of your fan base can see your post. If you don't boost them with Facebook ads, there is just maybe 5 to 10%. I don't have a lot of fans on my page, but I don't really care because I don't do my business on my business page. I put all the content on my business page, means like article, like other things, like more professional. But I use my personal page because people are talking human to human. We wouldn't have this conversation together if I wasn't human first. And human eat, see their friends, hang out, travel, have fun, but they also have a job. So it's just a balance between all of them. If I go drink, take a drink with one of my friends, I had a great time. I want to share that on Facebook. This is what Facebook is for, because people are here to socialize first. It's not like a selling platform. So I don't care if people see me, like sometimes I do lives. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I'm like, this is not the perfect topic. But it's not a big deal. I'm human. I'm trying to like push myself, get better day after day. And people like that because people like go-getters. People take action and people really want to reach their goals. And it's everything related to my brand. Like my brand is, see, here, a raccoon. So one guy just texted me just before, was like, oh, what Miko means. Like Miko is just a Disney. This is a raccoon in Disney. In Pocahontas. And I was, yeah, I'm human. I love Disney. And
Right.
I just love everything related to raccoon because it's resourceful. It knows how to adapt. It's really sociable. And those kind of values, this is just me. And people are going to follow me because they like the values I'm holding, because they like my personality. If they don't like me, that's fine, just next. But people are too scared about what other people think. And when you hold a brand, you have to assume who you are and what kind of values you want to put out there. And I think this is the main point with personal branding for me.
And what is I see people that will do like these posts every day, these motivational posts. There's a picture of a lion, Go get it. You're going to be amazing. It's fantastic. And I love it because I think a lot of times when people do that, I think that they're doing that for themselves more than anybody else. But like with you, I notice that, you're not just posting articles. And if you're posting an article that you see, you're giving commentary, right? You're talking about it. But you're not just posting stuff. You're like posting like breakdowns and just all kinds of stuff you're giving out to people. And it's not just like a tagline. So can you talk to me a little bit about, the people on Instagram or Facebook or whatever that are just doing here's a motivational quote for the day, and then somebody that's actually putting some effort into, like I see you break down Phil and Sam's show, and it's Next Level Facebook ads, by the way, and they have a group Elite, but they do a podcast and they have a show and whatnot, and I'll see that you will break that down into this amazing cheat sheet that people can look at, and that's not a quote of get out there and do something. That's like doing it, right?
Yeah, there is a lot of people who know how to talk. In my personal life, same business life, I saw way too much people talking and not taking action. And this is the big gap, like difference between people who, according to me, succeed and the other ones who are like more passive, think because they're going to retweet something. Like social media exists because of native content. I mean, my brother is a YouTuber. He has over like 150,000 followers on YouTube. And he's putting native content. He's doing videos. He created on his own. He posts like pictures. He took himself. There is enough people reposting bunch of quotes on all different kind of social media. So if you want to bring value to people, you have to just bring your personal touch, I would say. So when I see Phil and Sam doing podcasts, doing those lives like few times in a week, when I see all those cool videos, like one few of my references are like Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, like the big ones. I follow a lot of different other marketers just to get like, I just share what I would share myself. Like I discovered Jason, like an email marketer, like really cool. I had a conversation with him and I just love because he's himself, like he's full of tattoos. Last time he has like a pirate hat during a live and I was like, that's freaking cool. Like people don't want to get bored. Like they see all the time the same things, the same quotes, the same lion images. That's cool to share lions sometimes. But if you can just share something else, a unicorn, like a raccoon, a picture of a raccoon, I have no idea.
Right.
Like people are gonna be like, they will just stop and remind that because it's different. What you want to be is different. And if you're different, you just stand out. Seems to me logical. So yeah, when I did those like documents for Phil and Sam about the podcast, I was like, in any ways, I would listen to the podcast, like really attentively. Yeah. And take notes. Anyways, I would do that on my bed, like listening. I don't care, but I would take value from that because I know it's just full of that. So I was, how about mixing pleasure and useful, something useful.
Yeah.
So I was like, how about just making those documents and just share that on the group? Because I know there is a lot of people who doesn't take time or just don't have time to actually listen to those 15-minute podcasts and just take a look in like 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes reading a simple paper. So it's just being sometimes a bit resourceful, creative. No, those people, Sam and Phil and all the group are bringing us value. So it kind of like a win-win exchange. I mean, I'm just happy to do that for them because it's like sounds logical to me, just helping people. Like, and what I've learned from this group is just bringing value first is what matters and what actually will bring you business and everything related to that. So,
Yeah, I think you were saying earlier, and are you hearing an echo or is it just me? I think
maybe it's just you. I don't know.
Okay, it's probably, that would be the first time someone said it was just me. But I think the thing is like, I did think about a quote once, and I did put it on. I'm not a big quote guy, but it's like you can't outsource authenticity, right? Like you could be the most amazing copywriter in the world, and you can't be Will Tygart. Like you just can't be me. Like there's only one me, and I'm a dork. And if I tried to be a straight lace suit guy, normal talking like this is this, or maybe a course, like I got to be me because I'm the best me that's out there, right? So if I'm just me and I don't try to be something else, like I don't look at Gary Vaynerchuk. Actually, was going back to Gary V. I listened to him a lot for a while, and he would be my when I'm really tired, I would put him on and listen. And I just heard one day he was just telling somebody, he's like, I don't read books. Stop listening to people. So I stopped listening to Gary Vee. I stopped listening to him because he was like, just be you, right? Like, yeah, a lot of people are trying to be him, right? And they're trying to be something. Like somebody goes, oh, like, Russell Brunson or Gary Vee or Tony Robbins. And it's like, man, just be Fanny or just be Will. Like, because then you're going to be the best who you are. And when you press that button, right, that live button or whatever, and you're getting content out, and of the 100 people that see it, like 2 people it resonated with, that's perfect, right? Because you didn't fake anything. It's just you.
Yeah, it's just you. And what I love with Gary Vee, I was listening to one of his videos one time. It was like, if seriously you can stop listening to me, this is the best answer. It means I did my job because you have other stuff to do to actually move your life to the next level. And I'm still actually listening to Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and this kind of like references because they're like really inspiring, and I want to actually be at their level one time, and I will be at their level one time. I have no idea how, why, whatever. But what you have to do is definitely be yourself. Like, so much people are scared by being judged and just what other people think. I have like haters. That's great. I love them because they just reminds me I'm doing something right. Because it's easy to actually send a comment or say, I don't like your accent. I don't like the way you are in front of the camera. Okay, great. How about you? What the heck are you doing? Are you able to do the exact same thing I'm doing? Are you able to bring the exact same energy, the valuable content I'm sharing right now? I don't think so. So yes, it's super easy to actually criticize just in front of a computer, but when it comes to action, nobody's here anymore. My father has a really like high position, and he managed thousands of people, and a lot of people, like a lot of them, are criticizing. That's great, but who wants to be in this position when it comes to
Yeah.
take action and just take the right decisions? Nobody's here.
Yeah, that's the
So
tough part about standing out there is when you stand out there, you're kind of a target.
you have to,
Which
yeah, be ready to get criticized, like
and
basically.
I did management for years, and I managed people, and I finally had to get out of it because I could do 1,000 things great, and if I did one thing wrong and someone was like, I really don't like Will, I would cry. I mean, it's
I
like,
know, but everybody
yeah.
remember when it's wrong, but nobody is ready to say it's good when it's good.
I
It's
will I
just the
will
human
yeah.
brain.
I will say one of the quotes that I heard from Bill Gates. He was talking about Microsoft and why Microsoft did so well, and he said that they did so well because they screwed everything up, and so they learned everything so fast. So, and I've talked to Phil for ever since I pretty much got in, and I send him every now and then some testing that I do, and I may or may not be a half a bottle of wine in when I'm doing these testing, but I'm doing the dumbest things you've ever seen in your entire life, and completely screwing up and it's just crazy some of the dumb stuff that I do, and thank goodness it didn't work, because when it doesn't work I can then go, oh, I went far enough down the road, I noticed that it didn't work, now I see so many other things. But if you're sitting back there getting ready to get ready to get ready to get perfect to get ready, it's like, get out there and
It's
screw some
never.
stuff up.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you actually better learn when you like screw up. Like I just relaunched my agency a second time because the first time I wasn't like happy with that. I was like, yeah, I don't like that. It's not a good fit. I had to like fire one of my clients. That was the first time in my life. I was like, she's draining my like positive energy. That's not possible anymore, and she's not even paying me the price I'm supposed to worth. So,
Right.
and it's when you screw up, when you like fail like the worst way, that you actually learn on the way. I came back a year ago from like US. I came back broke. I was supposed to find a job. I didn't have a job. I was single. Like that was the worst. Back to my parents' house. Like the worst situation ever. But when you screw up, like yeah, seriously, like really the worst way, you learn. If you just get back on your feet, that's the way to go. And when it comes to Facebook ads, same. You're failing one time, 2 times, 10 times. Your ads can work the first time. This is what I say to my clients. It can work the first time, but there is no guarantees. It can work like after 2 months, 3 months, few years. Like, yeah, there is no like universal rules. And people are just too scared to put themselves out of this little cute comfort zone. they used to like just stick in, because there is no danger. It's not even danger. You're going to like discover yourself by doing this kind of things. Like, this is so freaking great. I just embrace all that struggles. Like
But
Gary's the
but
same.
yeah, but you do need to know the end in mind, right? Because just like a funnel, if you can you imagine if you just did funnels and you just had one page, and it's like, well, what's coming up next? I don't know, but we're gonna get this person to do the sale. And it's like, no. You have to figure out where you're going and then work yourself back with the emails, with life, with everything. So when you say that when someone's getting into this, whether it's Facebook advertising or whatever they're doing in their business, they should look at where they want to go and make sure you know what's up. Because I could tell, I've had so many just ads where like I started going and like 3 days later I'm like, am I just having fun here? I mean, what was I trying to accomplish? Because I'm targeting these people and it's going really good, but I don't know what to do with them next because I'm goofing around. And I'm like thinking, I think a lot of people are, as soon as they get that Facebook ad account opened up, they just start doing ads. They don't think about the copy, don't think anything. Let's just get it out. And when it doesn't work, they're like, oh, well, they shut it off, and then they go do something else, and they do something else. But that's because they don't know where they're going, right?
Yes, like everything in business, everything is about anticipating. There is a lot of things you have to test to learn the way, but there is a lot of things you have to test to know in advance. Like, I did a video live, I think last time, about like this great example of Tony Robbins. When you play with your little nephew, little brother, video games. I did that with my little cousin last time, and I definitely felt like I was dead after like few seconds. But this little dude was just going through directly to like the last point, and he just won after like 2 minutes without getting killed. And I was like, how? Like, and I just remember Tony Robbins saying, this little dude has training. He exactly know where is he going. He has a vision. He has something clear. So if you don't know, like, just sit 1 second and be like, okay, imagine I bring people in my landing page. What's next? Imagine I get into the shoes of this person. I'm going to be on the landing page. What next? I give my email. If there is nothing coming on my email, it's kind of like dumb. I'm gonna just associate a really bad a bad image to this person or this brand because I was waiting for something valuable and it actually wasn't delivered. So what you have to do
Yeah.
is just sit and be like, what are the different steps of my sales funnel? Like, same when you are if you're asking after like, I don't know, 5 or 6 emails for a phone call, and there is no links to actually book a phone call online. And if there is a phone call and the person doesn't show up, I had that, like the person I booked for with another marketer just as a test, the person never showed up. So I put a bad comment in his Facebook page, and he probably lost like 10 people just because of that. So everybody knows one happy client will bring you probably 3 clients, new clients, referrals. But one
Right.
like kind of like sad, disappointing client will tell 10 of his friends to not use this brand or this product or this service. So it's
Yeah.
just everything is about recommendation, word of mouth. These are the best way to go when it comes to business. But Facebook ads is like kind of like one of the tools you can use to do that. But everything has to be properly set up and working before you start anything. Like, don't be in a rush.
Yeah.
Just, I'm not patient at all. So I'm like really talking from the perspective of someone who's like struggling, be like, I want to do it right now. But you have to be patient. You have to set up everything in advance, like review the copy multiple times. You have to think about different versions. It's a lot of work. I spent 1 month, an entire month to set up my own funnel.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like an overnight process because you have to do those video value bombs. Just give in advance, but you'll get the price much more after. So
Well, I love the fact, like I said, going back to the start, and we'll wrap this up, but the activity that you have that's going on, that is huge. I mean, I last Friday I was interviewed from Christine Gritman from New York, and she used this thing, and I finally got on a webcast or whatever, and that's what I wanted to do because I just wanted to talk and see would I enjoy it. And then I was like, okay, I've got this thing. I got this program, and then I just started interviewing people. I'm like let's talk, let's do this. Let me get good at it. Let me see. This is fun. This is amazing. And it's like fun content. I mean, this is like awesome. This is a great conversation.
Yeah,
And what I love about it, at least for me, is these are conversations that I typically have had offline where someone's like, hey, Will, can I call you, or can we Skype or
exactly.
whatever?
Yeah,
But now, and we've got like 1 or 2 people that have popped on here or there, but I bet you by the end of it, we might probably have 1,000 people that are going to look at this thing and did
probably.
it
Yeah,
help them?
you
And
don't
isn't that
really care, but
awesome?
yeah, the life
Isn't that
itself.
awesome?
And you can just connect so easily with people. Like I connected with Phil and Sam. I'm in France. They're in Seattle, in America. Like there is an ocean between us, and with you as well. I'm like, how is it possible? But it's just if you want it, if you're authentic with yourself, everything can happen. Like it's just kind of limited belief saying, "Oh my God, because you're French, you have to take French clients." I don't want French clients. I mean, not right now. I can work with like Canadian or French clients who has like a minimum budget, but like I want other clients. I want diversity. I always told myself after my master, I'm gonna get like American clients, Australian clients from New Zealand, like whatever. But I don't want to speak French. Here I
Right.
am, like 1 year after. I think I speak more English, American with my friends online than my own like friends living right down the street. So yeah, it's
Yeah, I
just a
love that.
question of will and drive, I guess.
You definitely have it, and I want to for you to tell everybody like where can they find you, and then underneath here I'll make sure that I put like everything that you're into, and like how should they connect with you, and what do you got going on? Just let me know.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so I run Facebook ads. I do like a little sum up. I do sales funnel, so landing pages, also email marketing sequences. I'm going to launch at the end of the week a pet video training about how to make kick-ass graphic designs for Facebook ads. So it's going to be launched like super soon. And I also have I have my YouTube channel. Everything is linked on my business page. So the business page is Komiko, Komeeko. There is a little like raccoon face next to mine. You just can't miss it. There is a bunch of videos on my personal profile as well. Everything is linked all together. If you have any question, you can send me a PM. You can send me a comment. You can like I have my website as well when there is more information. So www.comico.com. Super easy. There is French version, English version to be sure everybody understands. So yes, I think you can kind of like find me everywhere. If you have any questions, then we'll be here. So yeah, that was like a real pleasure to be here today for sure. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
we'll have to have you on again. I could just tell we could just go for hours on this stuff.
it. That's
I'm
awesome.
just
Yeah.
like I said, there's a lot of people that message me. There's a lot of people that are out there on Facebook land and in the thing, but like there's a handful. There's about 5 or 6 of you that are always around me. You show up in my feeds. You show up in messages. I see you everywhere, and it's just hustle. It's hustle. I mean, it's just hustle, right? You got to
It's
get out there and
just
do something.
pure hustle, but it gets like in my daily routine, so I just love it. You just have to love the way you hustle. If it's not the right way to take.
Right. Cool, cool.
Just change your job.
And I'll see you is today at 11 is the
Yeah, there is the life, and before there is Tony Robbins' life too, in like an
oh yeah.
hour. Yeah, so
Cool,
much
cool.
things going on. Thank you so much.
Good talking to you, and then we'll see each other soon.
Yeah, of course. Bye bye.
Bye.